Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of a NASCAR Heat 5 Volume 2 Career Mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we are prepared to kick off the round of 12 here in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and it is going to be an interesting one because we kick things off with a track that I'm not so confident at with a 4-star car with Richard Childress Racing, and that's right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway with this Flow Racing machine. However, there is 2 races after this that I am looking forward to, and that is being Talladega as well as the Charlotte Roval. I believe those 2 tracks are going to lean significantly towards the strengths of our number 27 car this season, as we've performed really well at the plate tracks and the road courses here. Now as we come through to qualify here in a 31.778, and it was P23, so about where I expected, to be honest. I don't think we're going to even have a top 10 car today, to be completely honest with you, but we got some work to do obviously, and we're going to try and use some strategy calls to get us up into the mix of this race. But you see, as looking through the rest of the qualifying order, you got Ryan Blaney rounding out the top 10, but it's Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, your top 5. Martin Truex Jr. most recently eliminated from the round of 16 after an engine failure last episode in Bristol, and in a heartbreaking moment for his season. He would love to bounce back and, end the season on a high note with maybe a win or 2, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. What a season has been for Truex, who was injured earlier in the season and things didn't go quite his way, but he made the playoffs, and of course has had still a strong season, but it comes up short with a short-lived playoff run here as we are underway for this round of 12 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And this race for me is about survival. We are trying to come out of here with an expectation of still, I would say, in my opinion, we're going to probably be below the cut line following this episode still. However, it's just about minimizing the damage here, and if we can exit Las Vegas, honestly, I'm going to go bold here. If we can exit Las Vegas with less than 25 points to get to that cutoff line, to get above that cutoff line, I'm confident we can make it into the round of 8, because like I said, you look at the next episode, we go to Talladega. Where do we have our one and only win so far in a 4-star car in the Cup Series? It's at Daytona, a plate track. So we know Talladega immediately is going to be a track we circle in this round, but then we go right after that to the elimination race at the Charlotte Roval. Now, if you guys remember in the past here in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, in the original one, we've had our ups and downs at the Charlotte Roval, but it's mainly ups. So I feel like, honestly, like I said, if we can just come out of this race within 25 points of that cut line, we are going to be just fine in this round, and then make it to that round of 8. However, that round of 8, I think that's going to be the death of us. It's going to be so difficult to go much further than that and advance into the final 4, but you can see us making gains here after having a bit of a moment there. I don't know what in the world I was doing behind the wheel, but we were P16 battling with Kurt Busch as well as our teammate of Tyler Reddick. Unfortunately, Reddick is well eliminated from the playoffs in the last episode in Bristol, but Martin Truex Jr., he was currently dominating these opening laps here in stage 1. We were up into P15, but couldn't quite go further than that here. We got to P15 and kind of got stuck right here behind Kurt Busch, trying to run him down. And you see me running up on the outside a lot in 1 and 2. The outside was really working pretty well, and I was trying it as well right here in turn 3 as well as 4. As you see right there at the inside, it's going to be the 14 of Chase Briscoe making a pass on us here. He's not in the playoffs, so no concern there, but it's very clearly looking like no stage 1's coming our way here in this first and opening stages. We were already closing in on the final few laps, so definitely just trying to bring it home at this point here in stage 1, let things play out here. Anthony Alfredo as well going to be able to get past me, and actually as we were closing in on the final lap of the stage, my tire as well as feel like come on here, so we were dealing with some tire wear issues down to 16% actually on that right rear, so that was certainly not ideal here. But I mean, overall a great start to stage 1, but unfortunately it's the opposite ending here. P18 after getting up to into the top 15. Martin Truex Jr. dominates stage 1, he wins it, and we're going to cruise down into 3 and 4 for the final time. William Byron there in that number 24 just behind us now as we exit 3 and 4, and it's going to be P18 here in this opening first stage. So no stage points for us, and we, like I said, didn't really expect to have a top 10 car here in Las Vegas. It's more about survival and, like I said, minimizing the damage limitation. That should be the title of this episode. It actually, you know what, it just might be. Now, as you can see me, though, taking a big swing at the car with the adjustments, getting some adjustments into it, because we can still try and do some things that are going to get more speed in this car, especially in the long run. We get one spot on the pit lane over Anthony Alfredo, and so does William Byron, passing that number 38, as we're going to be back underway for the start of stage 2 here from Vegas. And now it is time to get amped for the first time in the round of 12. There you have the AM segment, and once again here in the beginning laps of Stage 2, just like Stage 1, you can see that we have a good chunk of short run pace. Now, the vibe has been quite similar throughout recent times here in this career mode. We've had struggles on the short run, however, on the long run, our pace of the car has greatly increased, and we've been really good on that long run and been able to gain positions, but looking like we might be getting the opposite here tonight under the lights now in Vegas as the sun continues to set 3 wide around the outside of Kurt Busch and HEARTBREAK. But look, we can contend with the top teams of the sport right here in the short run, but as soon as we pass, I would say 7, 8, 9 laps area, we start to fall off as Martin Truex Jr. continues to lead and dominate this race here in Las Vegas, fresh off of being eliminated after that engine failure in the round of 12, or round of 16, sorry, failing to advance into the round of 12. Now, he actually would lose the lead though on lap 12, and actually as I'm saying that, I'm realizing he's lost the lead because for the second race in a row, Martin Truex Jr. has lost an engine. His engine has expired, and then number 19 again, and in dominant fashion, it's going to come to an end here from Las Vegas for Martin Truex Jr. for the second consecutive race here. Unbelievable stuff for the JGR driver. Now, heartbreaking for Truex to say the least, but you saw me take advantage, and I mean, look at this. We were up to 10th place in the closing laps of the stage, and look at that. Martin Truex Jr. is back on the track. I mean, just NASCAR Heat 5 things where the engine blows and you can get back right in the race, but the caution actually comes out here, and that's going to end Stage 2 early, which is fantastic for me because I saw a bunch of cars coming up behind me. So we do the unthinkable, in my opinion, here for this race. We just got a stage point, so that's going to be huge. At one point, you know, it could be a difference maker in a couple races time. So we pit for 4 tires, 2 kids of fuel, and we gain some more track position. So now up to 8th place as we get back underway for the start of this third and final stage, and nothing but gains there in Stage 2, and it certainly helped with Truex's unfortunate misfortune, and of course that caution coming out to end the stage early, because I don't think I was actually going to get stage points there if it stayed green, because we had Blaney as well as a few other cars like Elliott and Byron hunting us down in those closing moments of the stage. But now back underway here on the back of our teammate there of Austin Dillon in that number 3 car now, as he's been having a very strong race so far, and this is going to be really good for him because Austin Dillon's still in the playoffs as well. You see myself right there getting to the outside wall through 3 and out of turns 4 now, so not what we needed there. Kyle Busch leads away Logano up there in the mix, but now we drift down into P12. Anthony Alfredo going to go up my inside into turn 1. Trying to just kind of stay comfortable here on the outside and just make it work whenever I can, but however, it's only going to take us so far from the looks of it here now, as we're going to probably get a bit of a reality check if it stays green in that second or third and final stage, sorry, now as we got into the back briefly of William Byron. Kyle Larson actually would take the lead of this race here. Now I see a bit of a mishap again, myself into the outside wall, and then actually look at this, the caution comes out here relatively early in Stage 3, but I was thinking, you know what I said, we were open to doing some strategy calls here to try and maximize our position today. Why not do it right now? So we can come in, fill the car with fuel, put tires on, and we will have just barely enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. So the only way this strategy works right here is if it stays green for the final 19 laps of this race here in Las Vegas. We have 20 laps of fuel, 19 laps to go. Down the back straightaway, getting bulldozed into the outside wall right there by the 19 Martin Truex Jr., who got the lucky dog back on the lead lap, and he just drove straight through me there. He is a rival, not surprising, but now that got me a little bit heated, and we, of course, immediately trying to get the elbows up, trying to make some headway here to the outside, but I wasn't going to aim for payback on Truex. But like I said, hoping that it stays green, which was one of the main reasons I can't get payback on Truex, because the only way the strategy works is if it stays green. If a caution comes out, it ruins everything. So we'll probably have to come back into the pits along with everybody else. You see a 4-wide move right there, pinching Truex in the middle. He had to back out of it now as we continue to move on with our night here in Vegas through 3 and out of turn 4. And as well, you can see it's just gaining and gaining positions here. Kyle Busch still leading the way up to 22nd place here now behind the number 42 of Ross Chastain. Here comes Truex actually again to my back bumper with 13 to go, giving me a huge push down into turn 1. So I actually let him go. I said, okay, Martin, you can have the position if you're going to try that hard. We give up the spot there to that number 19 and continue though to just move on with our night here up to P21 behind Ryan Newman, approaching 10 laps to go in this race. Joey Logano now leading, and the AI, they're going to have to pit very, very soon within the next couple of laps. So we're just hoping, like I said, that it stays green here until at least they pit, and that would shuffle us up towards the front of the grid here now. But the caution comes out with 10 laps to go and throws everything right there out the window, everybody into the pit lane, and if we stay out, it would be probably the dumbest thing we could possibly do. So I come into the pits with 4 tires, fill it up with a fuel, and surprisingly, to my surprise, we dropped down to P38 because they only took 2 tires, which in my opinion was a bit of a surprise. So now we're going to get back underway from right where we started over 10 laps ago, and we got to do it again, but now everybody's got even tires instead of a bit of an advantage of nearly 7 or 8 laps or so that we had previously. So now it's going to be even more difficult. Daniel Suarez, by the way, did stay out on the racetrack. I did not feel comfortable. Suarez was on the same strategy as us. That's why he stayed out. I didn't feel comfortable with the pace in the car. I felt like if we stayed out, we would lose more time than we could possibly gain if we pitted again. So I decided to make that pit stop here, and you see us getting aggressive, getting the elbows out. 5 laps to go. We know we got to get the elbows out. It is go time. We have to give it everything because what happens right here is going to dictate the rest of the vibe for the next 2 races in the playoffs, and if we're going to, of course, advance or not. So you see me getting aggressive there, actually chopped the nose off the 10 of Eric Almirola up to P26, passing the 34 of McDowell, making it 3 wide in the middle between Custer on the inside, Ryan Preece on the outside here as we head down into turn 1 in these closing laps. Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin are battling for the lead of this race here in these closing moments to the outside of Chastain, as well as we exit turn 2 down this back straightaway, closing in back to where we were originally when that caution came out. Once we pass Newman, we will be back into that position here, 3 wide with him in the 43 of Eric Jones, our rival, and back into the top half of the field we go, but only 3 laps to go. Larson, Hamlin still scrapping it out for the lead of this race. They would continue side by side into turn 3, approaching these final 2 laps here from Las Vegas, but the caution comes out again, and we are going to be forced into overtime for the first race of this round of 12 there. Actually, not often we see this many cautions late in a race, but we would get back underway coming to lap 69 of 70. Nice here from P20. I was side drafting hard on the 48, by the way, of Alex Bowman there, trying to get as much as I can off of him as we head down into turn 1. But now we have been given a bit of a regroup, a second chance to gain a few more positions here in this race, and what is going to be so important. Briscoe there just in front of us now as we exit the corner. Going to give a big push to him on the outside of that number 48 Ally Financial Chevrolet, driven by Alex Bowman here, down back into turn 3, and Larson continues to lead through 3 and out of turn 4. He still has not won this season. He could change that today because the white flag is in the air for Kyle Larson, who's in front of Kyle Busch by about a car length, but Busch, we know, has a strong car. Martin Truex Jr.'s misfortune has allowed Busch to have an opportunity to win this race and advance himself into the round of 8. He's up the inside. You can see in the distance there, Larson left the door wide open on the exit of turn 2. Kyle Busch has the speed to get past him as we head down this back straightaway into the back of the Subway Ford Mustang there of Harvick, down into turn 3 for the final time, and Kyle Busch is looking like he's stealing this win from Kyle Larson here through 3 and 4 for the final time. Yes, he has. Larson has thrown. We pass Blaney and Truex coming to the line. Kyle Busch wins and advances into the round of 8. We're up the inside of our team at Tyler Reddick to the line. It's going to be a half-decent P15 finish here in Las Vegas under the lights. I honestly will take that. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a little bit better at the best, but Kyle Busch steals the win from Kyle Larson on the very final lap. Brent Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, all with the top 5 runs as well behind that 18 and number 5. And now we gotta get a playoff update. Where are we stacked up on this grid? I said give me 25 points or less to the cut line and I'm confident. Well, we are 19 points below the cut line, so we can definitely make this happen in my opinion there. Austin Dillon is out by 1, Blaney out by 3, Kurt Busch out by 10. Kyle Busch advanced into the round of 8 there, so he does not have to worry about Talladega or the Charlotte Roval, which are 2 wildcard, treacherous, tricky, difficult tracks that are coming up for us here that I thrive on, to be completely honest with you guys. So I'm very excited for these next 2 races, and I hope you guys are as well. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. I'll see you guys in the next one from Talladega Superspeedway. Can we go back to back with 2 plate victories? Let's wait and see and find out in the next one. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you one more time for watching, and have yourselves a great day.